Are you a parent looking for help? You've asked your doctor for help, but they're gaslighting you? Check out this episode as we dive in to just how to handle that. Hi, I'm Dr. Roseann, and I'm a mental health trailblazer. And join me as we have real conversations about real solutions to kids' problems. And today we're talking about how to handle that doctor who might be gaslighting your concerns about your kid and just exactly how to manage that. So let's dive in. When the mom talked to this pediatrician about her child's separation anxiety and just how absolutely horrific drop-off was at daycare and why she had to stop taking him because his level of distress was beyond a level 10. You know what this pediatrician told this poor mom who was just racked with worry? He told her it was her fault and that she needed to just drop him off and it would work itself out. I felt so awful for her. And instead, what it did is it created all this worry, this gaslighting of these concerns. Well, the good news is this mama didn't take it standing down and she went and found help. And her son did have autism. And the scary part about that is the sooner we address things, whether it's autism or ADD or anxiety, whatever the issue is, the quicker we address it, the easier it is to manage. Hello, we talk about early intervention all the time, but years later, this mother still was very traumatized by it. Of course she was. So what do you do when your doctor doesn't validate your concerns? Okay. So first of all, I hope you all have a doctor who validates your concerns. I can tell you my own experience with our pediatrician who told me when my child had brain swelling, where he was screaming, my head, my head, my head, because of the pressure from tick-borne illness, that she didn't believe in chronic Lyme disease. And when I asked her why he had brain swelling, she paused and said, it's allergies. Yeah. Okay. So we got out of there. Let me tell you that. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find a provider that you're aligned with and you're trusting. I know this is not easy. This is why people wind up flying into me and coming to me. I'm not a medical doctor, but I certainly am an aligned mental health professional. And this is why people come to me. But even I have found my own physician for my kid that's integrative, and, feel very fortunate to do that. I don't think every pediatrician or physician has to be bona fide integrative to be a good one. What you need is somebody who trusts and respects your judgment. Okay. Number two, you need to accept you are the CEO of your family mental health. Do not give that power away to a physician. That is one of the worst things that you can do. And, when we give our power away, we let them make the decisions for us. That's just silly. You are the best Google MD. You are the best advocate for yourself, for your child, whatever's going on. And, it doesn't mean you race away every time a provider tells you something you don't want to hear. Everybody knows who works with me. I'm pretty tough and I have tough conversations about things that need to have happen in order to get better. That's a different story, right? You already have a trusting relationship and you're pushing towards, the things. This is really about when you have a concern and your pediatrician or physician or psychologist or whoever you're working with isn't taking it seriously. So because you are your own CEO, you're going to find another provider. And, how do you do that? I think is the biggest question. So one, if you have a friend that has the same shared values, this is really important. I only have friends that have the same shared values. I did a major clean out in 2018 and 2019. And that for me is about, holistic and also full acceptance of the Hodge family, all members, including the cats. But if you are not aligned with somebody and you ask for their advice, they're going to give you advice to things that you don't want to hear, like, oh, you should do meds and you should do this, whatever. So ask a trusted friend for the name of somebody, get into Facebook parent groups and ask around. And that could be parent groups of the clinical issue or problem that you have, or a natural solutions parent group. And you really want to make sure you're finding somebody, and then, have appointments with them and see if you have a similar, working style. We call them an alignment. When people apply to work in our brain behavior reset program, they have to apply. They don't just get accepted. Okay. And it's got to be that we are in alignment. And that means that somebody's ready for change. They're ready to listen. And they're ready to make micro changes and steps. And don't look at me as just like Jesus. I hang out with Jesus all the time, but I am not Jesus. Okay. The miracle is within each parent and individual. And that is so important. I just show you the way to unlock that. Okay. Using my science, and the science that has showed us for centuries. Some of the things have shown us for centuries, including essential oils and just calming the nervous system, right? So that is important, that we ask people who are in alignment, and we're finding practitioners that really, really help us, right? And you need to take charge of that and own that. And don't feel like you have to argue with your pediatrician or practitioner. When my person told me that chronic Lyme disease wasn't real, I was like, are you going to give me this script of antibiotics? And she was like, yes. And I was like, okay, thank you. It was not my job. It was not my job. And you certainly can have those kind of conversations, but I'd rather you save your energy for positive things and thinking. It's not okay for people to act like this. You can, sometimes people can really be rude to you, and that is never okay. And if there's recourse for that, certainly do that. But don't align yourself with somebody who's not validating your concerns. If you're a parent and you have a concern about your kid, boy, it's valid. And take proactive steps. Remember this: nobody ever regrets getting help. They only regret when they don't.